one, wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. You always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause of sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Good morning, all. I hope you guys are doing well. I am a little sunburned, as you guys can see. I am red. It is all Susanna's fault. It's all Susanna's fault and guidance. Good morning. And this our early riser this morning. And first to say good morning to Bullhorn Betty and chat, followed by Karen Davis. Good morning, y'all. Munch, nice to see you. Third one here. You guys are so cute. I have to be honest. You guys are so cute. I did put the chat, not the chat, the StreamYard link up at the top, because we're going to be going over obviously a few cases, because we never really just cover one, but there are two main cases that we're going to be talking about here. And I would say, well, there's a little more than that, but we're going to go over the news. We're going to go over the two cases that are kind of dominating, the social media wave. And we're going to go over a couple cases that aren't. So hopefully we can have a good conversation, a good chat. If you guys would like to come on panel, please do so. I will consider opening up the phone lines here shortly for those that would like to call in to have the conversation, because there's a lot going on, especially with the Kylie Rodni case. I'm sure everybody kind of has a mixed bag of opinions on what could have possibly happened to her, from a variety of things that, could have happened. These types of things happen all over the country. A few times a year you hear of these parties and, teenagers going missing, and it's uncommon for them. And we know that something dreadful has happened. I'm just trying to piece together what we feel it is. Little David Mom, good morning. Kathleen McCarter, good morning. Haley L, Crazy Nurse 2.0. Mary, nice to see you here this morning. Julia T, Northern Light. Tammy T, Caribbean Kool-Aid. It's nice to see you, hun. Did you hear, for all those that are in chat, Paola's family is, Paola Miranda Rosa is the gal that we went out looking for. I've got her picture somewhere. I just don't know where I put my board. I took my board down. Now I don't have it. Either way, she went missing out in Waukesha Springs, however you say it. And they haven't been getting a lot of help from law enforcement. They haven't been getting a lot of help from law enforcement at all. And the family's getting a little, I guess, upset, as normal families would be upset. You're missing a loved one. There's no real evidence of what happened to her. She just vanished. There's been no, in the eyes of the family, no real work done on this. And, from what I can see, from out the gate, things weren't done properly, in my opinion. They just weren't. They didn't take the missing person case seriously. They didn't do any forensics. They didn't do any latent prints. They didn't do anything. She was out in the wilderness, out at a reserve, and they just believe a gator attacked her, and they closed the file, but the file's still open, and they're not really entertaining any other options at this point. Yet there's been no evidence even of the gator attack. There's been no sightings of a gator attack. There's been no debris from, and maybe debris is probably not the best word to use, but just clothing, ripped clothes, just gone, just like boom, gone. And so they're a little upset, and they want to, let the law enforcement in their county know, and are looking to have, like a caravan type of thing where people have signs on their car and stuff like that. If those that are around on August 18th at 9:30 a.m., I'll be posting the flyer up in my community tab. But the family really would like a large showing of support for this assembly that we're going to be doing, in a caravan type situation. I don't know if we're going to be making signs or getting out and standing at the sheriff's department. I don't know. I don't know all the details, but there is something that the family is wanting to put together. I got some information on it yesterday. I didn't really see it until I think it was late last night or early this morning. I think I saw it come in late last night, but I didn't look at it until early this morning. Either way, August 18th, 9:30, I'll start getting you guys the addresses and an idea of what's going to go on for those that are in the area that would like to support this lovely family that is just missing their loved one and just feels like they're not getting the help that they need. So, and we hear that a lot. And Caribbean Kool-Aid was out there, with the family. She's become very close with the family, and we're all just trying to help them the best we can. So I'll let you guys know as we get a little closer, but it's going to be like today's the 13th, so like 5 days from now. Welcome everyone, come in, and thank you, Anissa. Ruby Pearl Glamper, good morning. Texaholic, good morning. Texas Nan, nice to see you. Good, different name. Good morning from Texas. Well, thank you very much. Jackie Chase, good morning. Steph, nice to see you here. Number 26. You guys are cute. Glinda, good morning. Bright light. Oh, I like that. Lana, good morning. Elizabeth 17. Stephanie K. Destiny Lynn, nice to see you. Witch hazel on cloth will help a lot. Actually, you know what? I'm not really burning. A lot of people, years ago, many of you guys know I'm born and raised in Florida. My family's been here for generation after generation after generation after generation. I don't know how many generations were from this one county, but it is what it is, right? So there's been an old remedy that our family has used because, a lot of our family was out in the farmlands and stuff like that. Redneck is not just, it was literally a term for people that were working out in farms because they always got rednecks. Anyways, the remedy that I use, which, some people may argue with, is a hot shower after a sunburn. A hot shower literally pulls the burn right out of the sunburn. So while I'm still red, as far as the pain and the, I may peel in a couple weeks. I don't know, but most of the time it doesn't even really peel that much. I don't know what it is, but I was taught that at a young age. So every time I get really sunburned, I turn that heat up on that water as hot as I can handle it. And I take a hot shower, and it does work. So I'm not sure if the doctors approve, but it takes the burn out, right? So I'm not grumpy. May, nice to see you. Barbara Warren, nice to see you. Mayor, good morning. Uh-oh. Should I be banned from it? I missed it. Where were you singing at? How did I miss you karaokeing on StreamYard? I am Team Summer, Guidance in Life with TLC. Susie Sue, nice to see you. Amy M. I just glossed right over a bunch of people. I don't know how I did that. Did I say hi? Good morning to you, Julia? If I didn't, good morning. B, nice to see you. Christina, Allery, nice to see you as well. I agree. Barbara, Sammy, and Jaeger. Yeah, they are. Because, and I'm sure you're talking about Kylie Rodni's case. There are some weird things there, but, listen, guys, we have to remember, I don't want to blame anybody for anything because I just don't have enough information to make those conclusions. But, we know that there was alcohol out there at the party. We know that there was substances. And the reason why I know there were other substances out at the party is because it was reported in the last press conference for her that there are some adults going around telling these children to be quiet. And they have come out to say publicly, look, we don't care about the underage stuff. We don't care about anything. We don't even care about the substances that were out there. We don't care. Like that is not our goal here. Our goal here is to find this girl, and we need everybody to cooperate as much as possible. And, you know, I did hear on one of the podcasts where Sammy, I believe it was Sammy, was talking about the final. Was Sammy the one that rode with her there? Because that's the one that I heard, the one that actually hung out with Kylie earlier that day and actually rode with her to the party and was going to be leaving the party with her boyfriend, which everybody's now saying that that boyfriend of hers is actually Kylie's ex-boyfriend. So I'm just, you know, I think we're going to need to clean that up a little bit for our audience as to, you know, what's what here. And then the strange statement that Yeager said to Kylie that night, I think it was something to the effect of don't be stupid or don't do anything stupid or something to that effect. And it was a little off-putting because, you know, if she's not accustomed to doing, you know, irresponsible things, why would that be the statement that her ex-boyfriend or her current boyfriend would tell her? And so I'm just, you know, it does. I think that's what's putting us off. If I'm, you know, I don't want to speak for all of you, but that is what it is for me, you know, is that it just seemed odd. I mean, unless he said it all the time, every time he talked to her, which I think I'd be off-putted, you know, from a significant other if every time I call him and I'm saying, hey, I'm, you know, here, don't do anything stupid, you know. I'm like, okay, what's going on here, you know? So I don't know. Lisa Marie, good to see you. Florida skin is different. It might be. I don't know. I just know that when I burn, like I burnt yesterday, like my back is actually because the way where my mom was sitting, Mama Bullhorn was there too. So Guidance in Life and Susiana got to meet Mama Bullhorn and Little Bullhorn. I don't know what to call my little sister. But either way, you know, they got to meet some of the fams. So it was nice. And we had such a great time. We really did. And I got to meet the twins. They were so adorable. I have to be honest with you. You just like pain. I'm glutton for pain. I'm a nurse. I doubt they would approve. I know. That's what I heard, but it works. It works. You know, I'm not, like I said, I don't think doctors would approve because, you know, I do have my aunt's a nurse. You know, my aunt just retired, but she was an RN for many years. You know, my uncle was a therapist. We got engineers. It's just, you know, a lot of people in my family, a lot smarter than me. I can tell you that, you know, they're barely even on YouTube. Like they're really smart. I'm just joking. But yeah. Who else do we have in here? All right, guys, I got to get coffee. I'm struggling today because the sun just takes everything I have anymore out of me. Yes, Yeager is too. I think her best friend Mags is also. So yeah, that's right. It was Mags. So I did hear Sammy. Now that I heard Mags, because Sammy was talking about her friend Mags that was supposed to get the ride. So Sammy showed. So the way it works is Sammy showed up to the party with. Well, I think that might be opposite. I think it was Mags that showed up to the party. Because I only listened to this one podcast with Sammy on it one time, and I should have saved it so I could re-listen to it, and I did it while I was driving. So I didn't have anything to take notes with, but I'm trying to remember what Sammy said. I guess you guys can clear it up. You guys are probably following this I've got everything pulled up here, but I can't remember what's what with that. Hi, Amanda. Nice to see you. Caribbean. Hey, girl.
Hello. How's it going?
It's going. I'm sunburnt.
I see. Yeah, a little too much sun. A lot of vitamin D, though. That's good for you.
Yeah. But it was weird. I don't know if because sometimes when you're just exhausted and tired, you don't realize you snore at night. So I don't know if it was the salt air that just from being out at the beach or maybe a little remnants of some red tide. I don't know. But this morning I woke up and the back of my throat was jacked. I'm like, maybe I just crashed out and didn't realize how hard I was sleeping.
It could have been the water. Did you get in the water a lot?
I did.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Yeah.
could have been the water too, that ocean water and the salt and everything. I just wanted to come on, and I've been following this Kylie Rodni case since like the
What
first.
was it? Now I did hear Sammy talk. Now,
Mhm.
was it Mags that showed up to the party with Kylie, or was it Sammy? I can't remember. One of them showed up and one was getting a ride from the party home and chose not to get in the ride. But one
Yeah.
actually showed up with Kylie to the party and was planning on not leaving with her.
Right. So Mags, her friend, one of her best friends or her best friend showed up to the party with her, with Kylie. And then a few minutes later, she left the party with her boyfriend, with Mag's boyfriend. So she apparently was only there for about 10 minutes, according to what they said.
Sammy was only there.
No, Mags. Sammy
Mags.
was there.
Oh.
Right. Sammy was there the entire party. And according to her, she was mostly with Kylie the entire time, but they did split up a lot and kind of went their separate ways and
Yeah, I
hung out
heard
with
that.
other
And they were
people.
like mingling or with the partiers.
Right.
And, yeah, but they would always come back together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So there was drugs and alcohol there. That's already been confirmed. There were a lot of older people there because there were a lot of college kids there that were, in their mid and late 20s and everything. And Kylie was part of the party as well because even though she was 16, she had graduated high school at 16. So it was like it was supposed to be like a senior farewell party.
Yeah, and it was only supposed, from my understanding, they invited a couple different high schools there.
Mm-hmm.
But this particular party, it sounds like got a little out of control with the number of people. Like they've never had almost 300 people show up at one of these senior parties. The year before, I think they said, or maybe at the most, was 150. So you're talking about even at their biggest party of 150, this was double that.
Right. Yeah. So definitely bigger than what they were used to. And even Sammy said she felt overwhelmed during the party because there were so many people there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you heard, there was a call from a guy from California that called a YouTuber on a different channel a couple nights ago, like 2 nights ago. He called in and his cousins were at the party. So he asked his cousins a lot of questions and the cousins gave a lot of details. Mm-hmm. So that was up on the internet as well yesterday, like a transcript saying everything that was said during that conversation. But according to this guy, his name is Ronnie, his cousins were there, 2 of them, and they're in their 20s, mid 20s, late 20s, and he gave a lot of detail about what was going on there and what goes on at these parties. What details
did he confirm or?
Basically just saying that, there was a lot of alcohol, a lot of drugs, that most of the time the older people are the ones that bring the drugs to the parties. And normally it's guys that do so, and that they pretty much give out the drugs for free, especially to the girls, to come have them hang out with them and that kind of thing, which, I've heard that happens a lot in the areas. They have a lot of parties like this. So though a lot of people are like surprised that goes on, it really is like a common thing.
Yeah, it is.
Around that area.
We were all young once. We like that's what I was saying when I was hearing this. We've all. I shouldn't say all of us. That's a broad brush, but the majority of people that are in cities, near cities, or anything have had an experience such as this. If you're in high school or college,
right? Yeah, I mean, parties happen pretty much everywhere. It's just I don't think I'm pretty sure I never went to a party with 300 people in the woods. But yeah.
I went to some, because we went, some of the stuff we done out here was like huge bonfires and stuff in the middle of the country where I don't think they were quite that big for being private, like, just word of mouth. It was more targeted. It was a bunch of, people that like to go out and play music and just be out in the woods, burning a bunch of wood down. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's what we call fun. I don't know. But
Right.
I don't think it ever got to 300. I think the most we had was slightly under 200 at any given party. But that's still big.
That's a lot of people.
A lot of people.
So the thing that really bothers me is that according to the last report, you know, a lot of video and a lot of photos were turned in, but she's not in any of these photos or videos. So it's just really odd. I mean, if she was there, she's got to be in pictures and videos and, you know, things like that.
Well,
And
Sammy said that there was a lot of videos and photography from everyone. And
Right.
so they're right now we're getting word that they haven't seen her in any of that.
No, that was the last I heard, is that they hadn't seen Kylie in any of these videos or photos or anything. Nobody saw her get in the car and leave. The timeline, I'm trying to figure out, because I know at 11:30 p.m. that night, she texted her mom letting her know, and it was a text. It wasn't a phone call. Like I heard some people say, you know, she spoke to her on the phone. No, she didn't. It was a text that said at 12:15 I'm leaving the party. So she was going to be on her way at 12:15. And
so that was a text message. So that was my misunderstanding. So she didn't actually pick up the phone and call her mother. She texted her mother.
Right. Yeah. Last night I went back through all the times that the mom has spoken, and I caught the part where she explained that last interaction with her daughter. And she specifically said it was a text. She texted me at 11:30 p.m. saying she would be leaving the party at 12:15. And her mom told her, okay, wake me up when you get here, which I guess was a common thing for them. Wake me up when you get here. And Kylie said, okay, I love you, Mom. And that was it. That was the last time she heard from her.
Right.
So that was at 11:30. At 12:33, I believe, is when her phone went off. Like it got turned off, or it went off somehow. It's been turned off ever since 12:33. But I saw another timeline where it said the last time she was actually seen physically was at 1:30 a.m.
And where was that?
So at 12:33 a.m. her phone went off, and at 1:30 a.m. she was last seen. But it doesn't say where or who saw her. None of that. So I was trying to figure that out, exactly where that came from. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting. You know, the phone going off, and it is possible because, you know, we've all been out, you know, in places where there's no power. We're on our phones, texting with friends, taking videos. Videos suck a lot of power off our phones, you know, taking pictures. You know, maybe it's possible her phone died at that moment and she hadn't left the party yet. And maybe, you know, because according to Sammy, she told Sammy that she wasn't going to drive. She was going to have somebody drive her. Well, allegedly, somebody was going to either drive her or she was just going to sleep in the vehicle until she slept.
Sammy said that that's what she thought, but it wasn't that she actually said that. And it's been a lot of, I feel like every time I hear her speak, I hear something different, but I don't know. It could be a lot of things. She could have been drunk at the time and not really, you know, sometimes you forget what happens, or sometimes as time goes on, other memories pop up. So it could be that. But I know that Sam did say that she thought that she may sleep in the car and just sleep it off and then leave the next morning, or that she may have somebody give her a ride. But I don't think that that's anything that was actually discussed. Right. But Sammy she did say in a couple of the interviews, she did say that she asked Kylie to give her a ride home. And so when they were going back and forth to Kylie's car to charge her phone, because her phone kept dying or kept wanting to die. So then at one point in the car, Sammy asked Kylie to give her a ride home. Could she give her a ride home? But then when when Sam went back to the party, she said she decided to find a different ride. And there was two different reasons. In one interview, she said she decided to find another ride because she thought Kylie was too drunk to drive. And then in the second part, she said she decided to find a new ride because she wanted to stay later. So those were two different reasons. But regardless, she did find another ride. and decided to not go with Kylie.
So one of our audience members says they kind of like, my very first thought, just to give you I don't know if you watched me the other day, but my first thought when I read this report when it first came out was, you know, I've been there. I've had friends that have not made it through a summer, and it was similar in nature, out in the country, drinking, you know, other things going on, and they've wrecked the car. You know, not just wrecked it, but you know, well, this one was just a wreck in a tree, and of course it is what it is. But I've heard and I've read reports just here in Florida. I think it was over in Treasure Island, where a lady had left a bar with her friends and never made it back home. They couldn't find her. They never saw her. And she actually drove her car by accident off a ramp into a lake, and they didn't find her for months.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the first thing that popped in my mind. But Thundercat here has another feeling that, you know, and it says that I don't know if it's a he or she, but they feel like that this is an OD, that's a cover up, that's why these adults are, you know, trying to prevent people from talking. You know, we don't know what kind of substances were out there. Was something a little more, you know, did she drink entirely too much? That's another thing that happens to these young kids. They don't realize how much they're drinking because they're shooting and
right.
drinking so quickly. But, you know, 20-25 minutes later, you may have that full force of that alcohol hit you, and it'll knock your socks off.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of different things that could have happened. There aren't any clues or any evidence yet, so it's hard to say. But a couple of things came to mind. Like, number one, driving into the water, because I immediately mapped out where this happened, and there's so much water around there, so that's possible. She could have driven, you know, into the water. They are searching, you know, all of the water areas around there. It could have been an OD, and you know, they're trying to cover it up somehow. Something could have happened to her. I mean, somebody could have done something to her there at the party, and you know, who knows what happened, and then they're trying to cover that up. So there's a lot of different, you know, scenarios that could have went down that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, are you familiar? Have you been to? I've never been to California. I'm not familiar. I know there's flat-lying areas. There's you know, mountainous terrain. There's beaches. Like, they've got, like, California kind of has a lot of different landscapes in the state. Is this is in the northern part of the California state, if I'm correct? Is there a lot of mountainous terrain in the area around where, you know, maybe she careened off the road and down a mountain, and, you know, they're just not seeing her? I mean, do you know anything of that nature?
So I have been to California, mostly beachside, so I'm not really familiar with that area of Truckee. But just based on the map, yes, there are mountains, if I'm not mistaken. There are a lot of woods. She lived, I guess her and her family lived in a lodge that they have where they rent rooms out to people. And it's called the Lost Trail Lodge, is where Kylie and her family lives. And that is about 20 minutes away from where the party took place. So I did a little bit of reading, like I read some reviews about the place and things like that.
Lost
Trail Lodge.
Okay.
Yeah. And that really is deep in the woods. Lost Trail Lodge is like the type of place where you want to go if you want to disconnect. You know, if you don't want to have any Wi-Fi, if you don't want to have any cell service, that's where that's where people go to stay. So it's about 20 minutes away from the party. And to get there, you have to go back into, you know, deep in the woods. So that's really the only, that's the only thing I know about the area, just because I, you know, checked out the maps and everything. But yeah, there's a lot of places where you lose signal. You're not connected to any Wi-Fi, nothing like that in that area. Yes, yeah, it's pretty far. I mean, 20 minutes to drive, you know, in the middle of the night is far for a teenager, in my opinion.
And there's a lot of, I mean, let's just close this out and look at look at this. I mean, that's. Let me go ahead and pin this. Hold on, give me just a second, and then we're gonna pin the. Okay, let's try this again. There's a pin. Hold on, let me pin this project. I don't want to do that. All right, let me pull this off real quick while I work on that. So she's about 20 minutes away. Okay. Why is this not going down? I can't even get it off now. There we go. I'm going to set up a new project, but I can't manage to do that at the moment. So let me go back out here and go to the poster. How the heck can I pin this on here without creating a project? Do you know how to do that?
I don't know.
You know, let's see. Okay. Well, then I'll go ahead and pin it after we get off here, so I can see, because I know it's the
Poster Family Campground is Poster Family Campground. Yeah, that's where the party was.
Yeah, so there's a lot. I mean, a lot of roads. There's a lot of trails. There's a lot of brush. I mean, from the ride home
it's rough.
It does appear to be that way. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of back roads.
Yeah,
and just in my opinion, 16 years old driving drunk 20 minutes is very dangerous. It's
right.
just so who knows what happens.
I mean, and there's kind of like the landscape right there. I mean, here's where she was right here, and somewhere up in here, I didn't pin it, but is where she lives. So she's got all of this. She's got, and this is more of a mountainous terrain,
right?
Based upon, what I'm seeing here. I mean, it doesn't look like it's horribly bad, but we got a lake here. I'm sure there's other bodies of water that we can't see from this distance through the trail as she's making her way home. Did she, and how do we know that she, again, these children were under substances of some sort, whether it's alcohol or other. And could she have gone out and made the wrong turn? Instead of going right, she went left. And maybe everybody's looking toward her house, but not looking away from her house because they didn't take into consideration she may have made a wrong turn and maybe in a different body of water further down the road.
Right. Yeah, there are quite a few bodies of water on the way home. So yeah, I'm not really sure what has all been searched so far, but I do know they're looking in the water.
I heard that.
Yeah, there's been so many cases of missing people that have been missing for years and years, and they are found in their vehicle in the water. I mean, that the YouTube channel Adventures with Purpose is known for finding people in the water years and years later.
Yeah.
So it's possible, but it still bothers me that nobody saw her get in the car and leave.
Yeah.
That's what's,
But in all fairness, when you have 300 people at a party and there's alcohol and I'm sure there was music out there, there was things, everything was noisy. I can see how it's easy to sneak away from a party. And, that may be telling in and of itself. Did she sneak away with a boy? She, we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. But I think with all that was going on, especially if she left later at the night, everybody was pretty much wasted. And even if they did see her, would they have remembered? Right. I mean, those are young kids drinking. I can see that a lot of them most likely had blackouts from that experience. And probably having to go to their phone to see what happened. When I was their age, that wasn't uncommon for me. You go out to the bar and next day, going through the photos like, oh man, did I do that? So
yeah.
But I don't want to put so much emphasis on the fact that, she could have wrecked or went into the water or stuff, that we take the focus that there is a real possibility that she could have been abducted or something really bad happened to her.
Yeah. And that same night, which I just happened to see a news release about a couple. That same night, a couple went missing too in the area, along with their car. And so I read a comment somewhere where somebody said, I wonder if this is related in any way, which it could be related. It could have been that, somebody abducted her, took her in the car, wanted to switch cars. So they ended up, leaving her car somewhere and taking this couple's car. Who knows? I mean, anything is possible. But there's just so much that could have happened. It's hard to say. But yes, I mean, somebody could have taken her. With having 300 people there, how would you even...
I mean,
of all ages.
They say that there was, the teenage, high school kids there with the college kids. But we also know there are college kids' friends that come that aren't in college that are sometimes much older than all of them combined. There's always that one or two, 40 and 50-year-old teenager that always has to be at one of these parties because he's the cool guy.
Yeah.
He's probably the hookup.
I hear you.
And so I have to imagine that there was a few of those around because in all fairness, even with my uncle, he was in the military for 20 something years. So he didn't actually go to college until he was like in his mid 40s. So he was a college kid in his mid 40s. Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of, when my daughter was going to school, I'd ask her and she said, she would say, there's all kinds of older people in my class in college. And so
you don't look old enough to have a college kid. Get out of here.
Oh, yes, I do, girl. She was actually like Kylie. She graduated high school at 16 years old. Aww. Yeah, which that's just always it always comes back to me, the whole thing about graduating at 16, because even though they're graduating and you feel like they're very mature and everything, they're still 16. So there's some things that, you really don't learn unless you experience certain things. So it doesn't matter how smart you are, how, book smart you are, doesn't mean that you're street smart. So there's a lot of things you at 16 that you still don't know. Yet. Right. Yeah, exactly. So at that age, you tend to, put a lot of, you trust people that you really shouldn't even be anywhere near. So it's hard to say, but yeah, with 300 people, who knows who there was that evil person that could have done something, Right. So, but
yeah, it's crazy. Did you hear about that, social media sensation, this Courtney Clenney? She goes, she has an Instagram, a Courtney Tailor.
Is this the OnlyFans model?
Yes.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And I'm just sitting here. I didn't realize, I've never heard of OnlyFans before. I've never heard of that before.
I thought I saw you on that website.
No, not me.
I'm just kidding. Just kidding. No, you never heard of that?
Apparently, I wear entirely too many clothes for that website. So definitely not me.
You had never heard of that. It's been around for a while. Yeah.
It reminds me of like Backpage 2.0 with photos.
What's back? Oh, back in the day, the last page of the newspaper, is that what?
No, Backpage. It was a website that was almost like Craigslist.
Oh, see, I don't know
adult women. Well, I don't know. They were using it for that.
Oh, okay.
30 roses.
Got it.
Roses.
Got it. Well, yeah, I mean, I saw the video a couple days ago that was released of her beating on him in the elevator.
He's a big dude. Like, damn.
Yeah, no, I know. And I mean, he just took it from her, like,
and just kept walking. I saw him. Yeah. She's hitting him. I'm seeing him going out that elevator. Just like, he didn't turn around. He didn't engage.
But didn't it seem like almost like he was used to that?
Yeah.
Like he was used to that was like a common thing for them. Yeah. Unreal. Yeah. I feel like the reaction would
I don't get the violence. Like, there's times like when a guy is attacking you, if you're or they're engaging, like they're coming at you. I'm not letting, if I feel like somebody's going to attack me, I'm going to defend myself before they get to that point. However, there are women out there that, they're fighting back and forth. This man looks like he never, I don't know if this is true. Don't kill me, but it didn't look like he was an abusive type of man, because it appeared that he was the one being abused.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's walking away. He's trying to ignore it. He's trying to get away from it. He's trying to disengage. She's engaging.
Right.
And, normal, in my opinion, if a man is a violent man and he's getting just beat on, he's going to turn around and just punch you right in your face. Like, leave me the F alone, B.
Did you see that video that just came out yesterday of the Spirit employee and that girl at the airport? Oh man, yeah. So that's what you just reminded me of them fighting at the airport. Yeah. It was a Spirit employee and a passenger. She is all up on his face. She's going at his face and pushes him, and he turns around and smacks her right in the face. Yeah. As soon as he smacks her in the face, everybody gets up and tries to split them up. I just feel like it's still one of those things where it's I feel like this whole case with Courtney, with her hitting him in the elevator, it would just get so much more attention. It is getting attention now, but it would blow up so much more if it was the other way around, like him hitting her. Right. It's such a double standard. But
it is a double standard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this chick, she literally has ruined her entire life. And she looked like she was successful in her endeavors. Mm-hmm. She was this beautiful model. Some of the modeling photos that I see, I can not show online. But definitely seemed to have it together, have what many people aspire to do. Like, she had multi-million people on her Instagram account. She was, successful on the social media platforms. A lot of people get out here and only aspire to the level that she got to. Mm-hmm. And she has thrown it all away. Yeah. Over this. And they haven't said how she killed him. Nothing. Like, there's no evidence.
I think it was a stabbing. She stabbed him. Yeah.
You know what? She looks like a stabber. I'm sorry. Yeah. I was saying that, I'm like thinking of a knife, and as opposed to a gun or something like that. And that's what I thought. And when you said that, I'm like, oh geez, I didn't say that out loud, but
yeah, I'm pretty sure. I haven't looked at all the details. This one I kind of just watch whenever it pops up. I haven't looked at all the details, but I do believe it was a stabbing. Mm-hmm. And I don't know the reason why. I don't know why they were fighting. Right. But at first, it was supposed to be like he took his own life.
They're saying she stabbed him. There's video footage of this?
Of the stabbing?
If I'm reading it, Jamie just said she stabbed him. There is video footage.
Oh wow. Okay, no, I didn't know that. I haven't seen that.
And then she followed it by of her arrest. Okay, so maybe that didn't go.
There is footage of her being arrested and having blood all over her, mm-hmm. Like all over her clothes. Mm-hmm. I do remember that, but of the actual stabbing, I'm not sure.
Yeah, and so for those people that are just trying to tune in, so what is your big plans for today?
Me, I'm not really sure. I'll probably go out a little bit, maybe go shopping. I'm actually healing from a surgery that I got a few days ago.
Oh, so I've been home. Recovery.
I've been home for 8 days. I haven't done anything. So today I'm gonna go somewhere.
Today's the day. You're like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. So, but I just wanted to come on here and
I appreciate it. You're very informative.
I just wanted to, talk through the Kiely situation. Something I saw this morning is that Sammy's parents actually have a private investigation.
Yeah, that's what somebody had posted into our chat, that Sammy's mom is a PI.
Oh yeah, so that came out. I saw that this morning on 10 to Life, and so that caught my interest because that's
but 10 to Life, I like her content. She's pretty big and well known, but there was something, and it's kind of funny because Dolly's here right now, and he was on a live. I watched it. I was part of the replay crew on that particular live. And somebody was in his chat saying, oh, they have confirmed a vehicle for Kiely at this apartment complex. And I believe it was 10 to Life that ran with it. But the make and model of the vehicle wasn't accurate. The license plate wasn't accurate. So she is still missing. I want to make sure that everybody knows that she has not been found.
No.
She is not at that apartment complex.
No, and there was a couple of people that went on and gave out information before it was confirmed. Not just her, but some other YouTubers as well, which they apologized for after the fact. But the titles are still out there. No, she has not been found. Her car has not been found. So no, she is still missing. And as far as I know, they're still searching and they don't have any real leads yet.
Yeah. And somebody's also saying Sammy's parents are PIs, and one of them is a lawyer as well.
Yeah, she was like a former attorney. Not sure for what, but what type of attorney. But yes, they do have an investigation company in California.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is very interesting. I don't know if you saw a couple of posts, Jagger, the boyfriend, and even Sammy had posted, that all tips or leads needed to come through them first so that they can be filtered out. And Jagger actually the boyfriend put that up on social media, to basically call him with any leads or tips or sent to him, and that he would filter them out for law enforcement. So, yes.
No. Let's not do that.
Yeah. So of course people were like, what do you mean? And so they, asked law enforcement about it publicly, and they said, no, absolutely not. That's not, we didn't ask them to do that. So just a little bit of information.
And he needs to be careful with that, because that's kind of, that can be interpreted as obstruction of justice. I mean, you can't filter leads away from law enforcement.
Yeah. And I keep reminding myself, these are young kids. A lot of them, they don't know how things work. It's probably the first time they even had to deal with anything like this.
Yeah.
So it's hard to, come to a conclusion. But I guess we'll see. Hopefully we'll find out more over this weekend, and hopefully she'll be found soon.
Right.
Yeah.
I do hope that they do find her. I do. I don't want to give up hope for anybody to find her alive. But, when I hear these things, I try to be a realist but an optimist. And it's kind of hard to have the balance there. But with this young girl being gone for so long, it's hard not to drift into something seriously happened to her. And it's not good.
Yeah, absolutely. And touching on what you mentioned earlier, switching the subject about Paola. Yes, the family does want to come together on is Thursday the 18th? I think that's the 18th.
I think
right?
It is.
On the 18th.
Yeah, 5 days, 9:30.
So on the 18th, they want to come together in Orlando and go to different places to kind of just, let law enforcement know that, they need their help. They're still out there searching, but the police are not helping, and they really would love to have people come out and support them. So if anybody can go out there,
I kind of wish that they would do it. I kind of understand the Thursday thing, but I wish they would. But see, the sheriff's office is not active during the weekend, but more. I feel like more people would be able to show more support if it was like on a Friday afternoon or a Saturday. But we'll roll with Thursday. If people are in the area, if you can take off work for a couple hours, maybe take a lunch break and come out there and show some support for Paola. Again, they have no evidence of anything. And they just stopped helping because law enforcement, even without the evidence, believes this is. And not only that, but the family has said, if you've got evidence that she was attacked by a gator, just show us.
Right. Yeah.
Just show us. but so far they've got nothing. It's
Nothing.
just Paola just put and was gone.
Yeah, exactly. So if anybody wants to support, come out there and just, with signs or, put a sign on your car, whatever the case may be. We are going to be posting the information.
Yeah.
I know you have it. I have it.
There were some, I didn't want to put it up because just yet, because there are some mistakes on it for,
yes.
So there's just one or two spelling things, but the other thing is on the actual flyer itself, it does have the time and location, but not the date. And
not the date. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that. I'll get with Cecilia about fixing that up, maybe sending a new one out. So
yeah, and then once that gets there, then I'll get that posted. But I didn't want to confuse people.
Mm-hmm.
So I was gonna, but since you popped up, I thought I'd just let you know.
Yeah. I told her about it yesterday that I saw some typos. So we'll hopefully get that fixed up and then get it out again.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
All right.
Before you jump on, I have a question. Hey.
Hi, Guidance.
Hey, I love your channel, by the way. I always watch your videos and check you out. And girl, I'm jealous of Puerto Rico.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. I thank you for watching. I appreciate that.
My daughter's Dominican, so one day we'll go and visit.
Well, when you're ready, let me know and I can help you out with some tips and
Awesome.
where to go and where to go find great food and all that great stuff.
Definitely, because she has family both in Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic. So
okay,
one day we're gonna go. But I have a question.
Next to each other. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, her grandma lived most of her life in Puerto Rico, but born in Dominican. But anyways, I had a question about I can never say her name right. Kyely?
Yeah. Kyely, yeah.
Okay, so it just hit me last night, and I texted Mel, but I haven't gotten a response yet. There's the reports that her phone last was on at 12:30, but then you have Sam saying that she talked to her at 12:36.
Right.
And that kind of hit me as like a red flag, like that was after her phone turned off.
Right. Yeah, she did say that she spoke to her at 12:36. Yes.
Interesting.
And that's been a big question mark on that too, because
very interesting.
Yeah. I guess that's when she called. Sam said that Kyely called her to ask her if she had found a ride. Mm-hmm. And that she told her, yes, I found a ride. I'm already on my way home. And that she could tell that Kyely was still at the party because she could hear the party in the background.
Right. Mm-hmm. And that's what threw my radar off, because I was like, wait, they said her phone turned off and lost signal and everything went dead at 12:30, but yet Sam is saying she talked to her 6 minutes after that. That isn't possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's tough, because they did mention, quite a few times that they had to go back and forth in the car and like plug in their phone because it was dying. So I don't know if maybe at 12:30 her phone went completely dead and maybe she went back in the car and plugged it in and then she called her while the phone was plugged in.
They'll be able to ping that phone and find out when and where everything, was. Hopefully
that's not something. Yeah, that's not something we're going to be able to figure out, because that's going to take pretty much law enforcement just, writing up a timeline of exactly where the phone was at all times.
Unless somebody from the party can tell us.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the reason why I said, why would they give 12:30's timestamp? Mm-hmm. They know the last time it was active. Mm-hmm. So it would have shown it was active if they called her. So I wonder if they've done a deep dive into Sam's phone to see if it matches up,
Yeah, because there are people in the chat just I personally, when I heard Sam talking about this story, and I think it was on, I don't know whose channel it was on that I was listening to her story. I believe it was that American something or other. What is it?
American Dream Chaser.
Yeah, and he's the one that covered Kylen Schulte and Crystal Turner as well, because I remember chatting with him at one point. But she was on his channel doing this interview, and I thought she seemed to me, just listening, that she seemed authentic. You know, but people are saying that this doesn't matter. We're dealing with teenagers that are intoxicated. I mean, I don't know if necessarily everything's going to be logical.
Right.
Right. And that's when I called Mel the other day on the live and said, hey, they are still teenagers and their boxing matches. Shoot, we used to do it here out in the estates of Mayaca before football games. So it's nothing out of the ordinary for kids to be rambunctious like that because they were trying to blow that out of proportion too. But there was multiple factors, but that just questioned me. Like that was the one little thing that I caught that didn't match up was those two timelines.
Yeah, I caught that too. Big question mark. I have no idea about that.
Yeah, and then somebody is also saying in here, Steve H, thank you so much. Don't forget Sammy gave her a hug and told her she has a ride and to be safe around 12:25. Did Kaylee forget that less than 10 minutes later? That's a good question.
It's possible because they were going back to the car with multiple people. And one of Mel's replaying one of them when the audience would tell him, hey, check out this timeline of her interview. There was actually multiple people in the car when they go and charge the car and get drinks. So
yeah, I would love to know who those other people are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that does make sense. Like when these things are coming out, I'm visualizing it because we've all had these types of, most of us have had these types of experiences. So when they're saying these stories, I'm visualizing it in my head. Did this happen when I was there? Not that everything's going to be perfect, but you just want to kind of have an experience point.
Right.
And I can kind of see where some of this stuff did happen the way it was described because I've seen it with my own eyes.
Yeah.
So,
and I've narrowed it down to either a ravine, the water of driving, if she was blacked out, or if there was a possible GHB, being that there was a lot of older people. And the way that they had their apps, they have specific
and actually,
apps.
hold your thought. Don't forget what you're about to say. It's crazy because Dolly was just talking about this GHB on his show about how when he was younger, or maybe I wasn't on his show, but anyways, there was a time when somebody had actually, and I can't remember where I heard this, but he reached over him and roofied him by accident trying to roofie another girl.
I missed that live.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know. I heard that. May have been another creator that I heard that from. It may have been another creator because I do watch a few, and maybe I'm just mistaken it. But anyways, that is a good possibility. And you know what? It was older people that were doing that, but it was at a bar. I remember hearing the bar because I remember I remember that happening to me. I remember I got a mudslide. Like mudslides don't get you drunk. I'm sorry, they just don't, and they damn sure don't make you fall on your butt. And I had one mudslide, and I was toast. Yeah, I knew something was wrong.
And that's what led me to, they have multiple apps. Like I heard about the Be Real. Do you remember that, Caribbean?
Yes, I did hear that. Sammy was saying everybody was trying to upload at the same time. That's what made me remember.
Right. And that's that seems to me for an underage or naive, that's a playground for predators too, besides just Snapchat. Because if they log in, they know where all the kids are. And they know that they're the most vulnerable.
With 300 people out there, we know there had to have been a creep or two.
Oh yeah. And like I said, the whole thing about nobody seeing what happened with people, other kids going back and forth to the car with her to charge their phone and get more, drinks and everything. Where were these kids when she was getting ready to leave? Where was everybody? Right. I mean, I just don't see just this
something's
girl.
Odd with the time she left or when she left. We don't even know when she really left because you had indicated that there's really no photos of her at that party.
Right. So. Yeah. Well, there hasn't been released. If there has been, the cops have said that no, they haven't seen her on any of the videos or photos. And the 1:30 sighting, I'm not sure where that came from, but at 1:30 a.m. there was a sighting of her at the party still. So
yeah.
And then I also
that was odd because then because she called her mom at 11:45 to tell her mom that she would be home by 12:30. So she gave herself 45 minutes. Yet and then her phone supposedly shut off at 12:33. and then somebody has saw her, or well, we don't know if it's even confirmed. We're just hearing, is that what I'm understanding, around 1:30? So
Right.
This is not confirmed information.
And not that I've seen, but I did see on the mom's social media where she said she was asking people to look at their ring cams from everywhere from the campground to her house in that road, to look at the ring cams. And she specifically said after 1:30 a.m.
Oh,
So,
Johnny B. Hold on a second. I just realized Johnny B. Live is in here. You got a good channel, buddy. So just wanted to give you a shout out. I plugged you in when you first came out. So really like your content. Just thought I'd give him a shout out.
Welcome back too, because his channel was taken down for a little bit.
Oh, yeah. You gotta be careful. There's some nasty people here on the streets of YouTube. Just nasty.
Also, I didn't know if Caribbean Kool-Aid mentioned this, but I did hear that Adventures with Purpose did post that once they get done with their Midwest searches, they will be heading over there to help.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's great. I did see that somewhere, and that's amazing. They do a great job. So
yeah,
that'll be interesting. I'm going to monitor this case because, you know, I'm not going to be too far from California. I'll be a lot closer to California than I am now in a few weeks. You know, so we'll monitor this thing, and maybe I might break. You know, I don't know.
Where are you going to be? Where are you going?
Probably sometime next month. Going to Idaho because I'm going to be checking out. You know, trying to help do my part for Michael Vaughn, hand out flyers. You know, just take a look at everything that's going on. You know, there's a lot of. I just need to know for myself what's going on. I don't want to make, you know, this family looks like it's hurting, and you know, there's a lot of stuff online. It's just hard to tell what fact and fiction is, and so I just really, for me, I want to know for myself. I don't want to, you know, say something inaccurate or hurt somebody that's already hurting. So we're just going to go out there, see what we can do to help. Just, you know, get a lay of the land, try to figure out. You know, because law enforcement came out and said that the Michael Vaughn was abducted. So I want to see how that would have happened. You know, okay. It looks like there's some back roads, some dirt roads, some stuff. So I just want to be familiar. You know.
Got it. Okay.
I think that would be a good case for you to check into too, Caribbean.
I've been watching everybody's videos on that. Yeah, there's so many different things going on. It's so many different cases going on right now. It's crazy. Like how many people are going missing, how many people have been missing for a long time.
It's getting scary.
Yeah.
Like really, really scary out there.
Jen C says she didn't call. It was a text. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Kylie didn't call her mom. She texted her.
And we clarified that earlier, but I think whenever I was talking, I'm like, she called her mom at 11:45, and they were reminding me, no, it wasn't a call, it was a text.
It was a text. Because I know that was important because some people were speculating that maybe it wasn't really her that texted her mom, that it was somebody else. And you know, if she would have called her, that would have been one thing, but it wasn't a call, it was a text. But as a mom, you always kind of know. You always know how your kids text you, you know, the type of wording that they use and that kind of thing. You kind of always know. Like my daughter texts me every time she leaves, every time she, you know, where she's at all times. And I always know how she's even going to say it.
Mamas have the best hunch for their kids. That's so true.
So,
and also, hold on just a second. So Dolly says we have a 13-year-old girl here missing, and he's going to search for her tomorrow. Do you have any information on this girl or what her name is, Dolly? And I'll pull her face up on here at least.
And where is
he's in Virginia? So it's I'm assuming Virginia somewhere.
Before I hop off, because I got to get ready. Caribbean, since I don't have your contact information, I did let Betty know as well. Mo is interested on helping and being boots on the ground with Paola because he's already been covering her and wants to get back on the ground. So
I'm happy to. Has he been out? Has he been out to Waukeba? Because he needs to go out there and get a lay of the land.
No, he's been in contact with the family before. But I know after this last visit, he really wanted to go, but he already had plans.
Yeah.
He definitely wants to stay in the loop if you guys go so he can see it, because he did that with Layla Cadet. If you remember her, we're waiting on that trial.
Gotcha. Well, you know, tell him to, you can give him my phone number and just tell him whenever he's in town, reach out to me. I mean, I'm happy. I can reach out to Vanessa and vice versa. And, you know, we can take him out there and just show him around.
Okay. Sounds good.
So
all right. Well, thank you. I got to get
people don't
the
realize
little
how crazy that is out there. It's a little, you know, it's a hike.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man, I can imagine. I'm headed to Mayaca today. But anyways, I'm going to jump down. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a beautiful day.
Have a great day.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm going to go too because I have to get ready.
I appreciate all your time. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You guys don't know, that's Caribbean Kool-Aid. I have, we've went searching for missing people together. The first time I met her was when I was searching for Ruth Cecala in Pasco County. And then we were talking about, so he's the missing girl. So let me just give this plug. And then she's been helping with Paola Miranda. So I got to see her again when Olivia and I and Mom went to the search. We just recently got back. I want to say it was just a couple weeks ago. I wanted to say last week, but I know it wasn't last week. It was a couple weeks ago. So the missing girl that is in, hold on. Oops. That's in Virginia, I'm sure. Missing. So here we go. So it looks like family missing. Norfolk teen continues to search. Candace Cadence, I guess is it Cadence or Cadence? Probably Cadence. Morel grandmother spoke with 10 on Your Side about her relentless search for her granddaughter. She said she hasn't been able to sleep ever since learning she went missing. Cadence was last seen on August 3rd around her home on Norway Place. She was wearing a black hoodie, black combat boots, black mask, and pajama pants. So it looks like she was in all black. Her mom told 10 on Your Side they reported Cadence missing Sunday, but hadn't seen her since the previous Thursday. So girl is missing. Let me see if I can get a better photo of her for you guys to see. There we go. I'll pull this up. If it'll pull up right, which it probably won't. There it is. Can you guys see that? So there she is. She's missing right now and hasn't been seen from, well, thank you so much, Dolly, for doing your part in Virginia. So for these families, it's very sweet. Very sweet. So getting back to Kylie, Rodni, you know, there's a lot of things that could go on. If anybody else wants to come up here or, you know, call in, let me open the phone lines up real quick. I hate these phone lines. And Dolly, just to let you know, you can't get the call waiting off. I've searched the settings. I've read it. I've researched it. It sucks. Don't know what else to say. So the phone lines are open if you have any questions or you'd like to, you know, to make a statement, you have some information, you can go ahead and call in, or you can come on panel if you so choose. The link's up at the top. What do we got here? I got a private message. Oh, never mind. I just got your message guidance in the private messages. I didn't see it. Good morning, Cheryl. It's nice to see you. So what are you guys thinking about these cases? Let me show you guys something before we move on real quick. This is about Courtney. Where's her Instagram page? So if you guys have not, this is kind of some risque stuff that she was doing. You know, this was her modeling. Somehow or another, I managed to hit myself out of this screen. I don't know what I did. I went back or something. Give me just a second. Let me share my screen here. Some of the stuff that she was putting out was like really, really risque. There are some things on her Twitter, which I'm surprised Twitter allowed her to have it on there, but that is, outside of something, just, it was full nude. This is, I can show you this, but I recorded her Twitter thing, and I can't show it because it's pretty, like I said, risque. Some of these are really scandalous. Some of them are, she's don't get me wrong. She's beautiful. She's beautiful. She's got a beautiful body, a beautiful face. She's making money. She's very successful in this, but she's crazy as hell. Right? She's crazy as hell. Let me show you how crazy as hell she is. This is her beating the crap out of her man. And all he's trying to do is walk away. He's disengaging. He doesn't want no part of this nonsense. She's a social media celebrity. I mean, even her Instagram account has over 2 million people subscribed to it. She has over 2 million people subscribed to her Instagram page, 2 million followers right there. She's a social media sensation. And she was arrested in Hawaii for killing her boyfriend. And that was the photo of her and her boyfriend. And I didn't know how. It was crazy because I was wondering how she killed him. I didn't know if it was gun or knife, but the first thing I thought of was knife. She looks like a knife girl. I'm sorry. She looks like a knife girl. And she's just a little thing. I mean, that guy's a big guy. He's a big guy. He looks like he could be able to handle his own. So for her to be able to do this, I have to assume that he really wasn't that violent to her. I could be wrong. This could be just she snapped, right? It could be something else. She stabbed him when he was sleeping. What a coward. Ruined her whole entire life because she couldn't control her anger. Sad. And it's sad because, there's a lot of young girls out there that look up to this woman. There's 2 million followers. Beautiful, sexy woman, right? I'm sure there are a lot of young women, or young girls rather, that look up to her, that aspire to be her. She had an opportunity and she squandered it, and it's a shame. And she's probably going to have to pay for that the rest of her life, if not with her life. All right, guys. Well, listen, I'm going to get out of here. I hope this live was informative for each of you guys. If you liked it, please don't forget to like the video, give us a thumbs up, and we'll be back tomorrow after I dig a little more into these cases. But this is what it is. Also coming up, I know today is Saturday. Also coming up in the next week is we're going to dive in to Mary and Jeannie's theory about what they feel happened to Summer Wells. That's going to be coming up next week sometime. We're going to be watching this whole Truckee teen, Kylie, Rodni case. Hopefully something breaks really, really soon. Also, I wanted to bring up something. Some people have, they've reached out to me. It's not one or two, it's a few people that are like, well, I guess you're ignoring me. You didn't acknowledge me in chat. And I just want to let you guys know that when I'm on here talking, I'm not really paying attention a lot to the chat messages. So if I have missed maybe comments or things that you wanted to get to my attention, I apologize about that. That's not in my intention. It's just, I have a set thing, set stuff I'm going to talk about in a set time limit in which I'm going to talk about it for that particular day. that sometimes it prevents me from being and speaking to all of you guys or answering all of your questions. And I apologize about that. I really do. It's not going to get any better, because the busier I get and the more people that come here, the busier the chat is, the more I'm going to miss. So please don't ever think or, take it personally. It has nothing to do with you. I love each and every one of you guys that come here on this channel. I'm really appreciative of you guys, paying attention and watching and supporting me and supporting this channel. So I never want anybody ever leaving here feeling like, I've ignored them or anything like that. That's not my intention. But also, please understand that, I've got a lot of stuff that I'm working on, I'm studying, I'm researching, and if I'm not, and you really want to get my attention, there's always a super chat or a super sticker just to get my attention, to ask me a question, or your membership, when you guys have the milestone. If I'm not paying attention to you and you're trying to get my attention and I'm looking at this camera and looking at the screen, I can't see I can only do so much. That's what I'm trying to say. So I do apologize, but please know that is not my intention. And I hope I, am able to answer as many questions as I can from as many people. But in all fairness, I give you guys the opportunity to come up here on panel or call in on the phone lines. So, those are the opportunities that you have to get my attention if I'm not seeing you in the chat. So I hope I clarified, but I love each and every one of you. I want you to have an amazing Saturday, and God bless each of you. And guys, don't forget to be fearless. Have a great day.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.